you know, the true activists are the ones that carry the message to their neighbors and friends, and how they feel sometimes more important than what the polls indicate, because they're the ones that they're the opinion makers in their neighborhoods that make a difference. So you may or may not get the same results we got here this evening in a scientific poll, but the results you got here are very meaningful, and those in the political process would be remiss if they didn't pay close attention to what was happening here and the responses we got on the struggle.
I have a question about the wording of the NSA question. So it was asking about phone tapping and reading of emails, which, like, is not really what the NSA is authorized to do on Americans. So, you know, the controversy is about phone records. It's not about, they're not tapping Americans' phones. They can't read emails. So I was wondering why it was phrased like that.
What do you think the common understanding is of what they're doing to the American public?
Do you think that was an accurate description of what they do in the poll?
I think it is an accurate description based on what they've read about what's going on.
Yeah, but you guys wrote the question.
Right.
Okay.
Based on what you can't ask somebody about something that they're not understanding in the media.
So you don't think you should present accurately what's going on, rather than you should present what the media has shown is going on?
That's what they're reading in the media. That's the question. Yeah.
Where's the note now?
Are you planning to make the raw data set available for anyone to run crosstabs on the different age groups?
That's up to CPAC. We don't release it.
We don't release it, but we're happy to answer questions.
If you want a specific question.
And you have a specific question?
I'd love to see the age breakdown for a number of the different questions. I know the marijuana one was referenced in the PowerPoint, but I know it's easier just to kind of SPSS and run all the crosstabs at once than make one of your workers kind of do the whole
Well,
thing.
but the thing is, we may opt from time to time not to do that, and so we just decide that you know, we keep the product private, but we're very forthcoming in helping you with a particular question.
Should I contact about any crosstab questions?
We may contact Megan Stein for our communications.
Mr. Cardenas, is there a chance that Robert Spencer and Pamela Young will be invited next year?
We've got a number of rules of participation here. There are thousands of people who will be invited to participate. The common denominator is civility and respect of others' opinions. And you have to, number one, meet that threshold. And you know, it's not a jury by trial. We get to make that decision based on previous conduct and reputation. And then the second one is we have a steering committee that consists of 200 plus participants, conservative organizations that are participants, and they get to weigh in on who the speakers ought to be in the panels, and we take that information, narrow it down, and present the final product. And we rely a lot on those opinions, and those opinions are all contained in this final product that you see. So, you know, ACU and CPAC are all about representing the conservative movement, and we take very seriously the 200 plus organizations that participate. So it's not as, you know, we set the rules of engagement, but we have various stockholders, all of whom are involved in who we select the speaker. So I can't say who will invite next year or not, because we go through a pretty thorough vetting process.
2 more questions.
Will you consider including gay marriage as a question, as you did marijuana on next year's CPAC poll?
Possible.
Did you consider doing it this year?
We did. You know, you can only have so many questions and make a presentation, but sure, it's a germane subject, and if next year or following year, soon it'll be certainly worthy of understanding the comments. Our goal is to understand where the movement is at all times, and it's not, you know, it's an evolution of thinking, and we want to make sure we capture the hearts and souls of the people who are here. So it's a fair question, and we may well move it on the agenda.
1 more question.
Excuse me?
Why were there no breakouts on the issue of life this year?
Good question. Let me tell you something. There are certain battles that are waged in the movement, and that battle's been won. I would say that if you asked a question about being pro-life, 90+% of the conservative movement are pro-life, and so we engage in panels mostly in those questions that are still to be answered, and those questions where you know, where folks are still to be persuaded and present various points of view. The pro-life question has been decided long ago in the movement. by and large pro-life, and there's nothing to be gained by going about it. Now, having said that, we had a number of speakers yesterday who addressed the issue. Governor Mike Huckabee, Ralph Reed, and then our keynote speaker at the Reagan dinner, Dr. James Robinson. So we had plenty of speakers who were given the freedom to speak their wish to address the issue passionately. But the panels are for questions that remain to be answered. That one's been answered.
Thank you very much.
Guys, thanks for coming in.